to another Supergirl episode review. My thoughts on tonight's episode of Supergirl titled Livewire. And I like this episode a lot. A few other things aside, I think this is one of the best episodes of the show so far. The big thing about this episode was the character development between the characters. This was the most character-driven episode so far. I mean, we're only 4 episodes in, but even then, it's a nice, like, almost a nice, like, breather, you know, between all the action and cheesy villains and all this stuff. So it's nice having a breather to, like, give the characters some room to grow, you know? And you're seeing the development of Cat Grant, a character who I have hated since the show started. And seeing her now, like, I sort of feel for her. I'm like, you know what? Like, she has my interest now. like, I'm watching her, and I'm just like, okay, I never felt like the actress was never the problem in my eyes. But to me, it's just, I felt that the character was a little too over the top. And she was, you know, like, and the way her personality was a little too much for me. And I didn't really like that. So I don't know, it was just a little too on the nose, if you guys know what I'm saying. But tonight, seeing Callista Flockhart, I think that's her name, she brought a side to Cat Grant that we haven't seen yet. And it really makes you understand kind of like where she comes from and why she is the way she is. And, you know, seeing a little, like delving a little more into, like, her background. And seeing that she does have a heart, and it's not this like cold, heartless, you know, like hardened boss, you know, that there is more to her, that there's more layers to her. So I really like seeing that. I think it's really cool seeing Helen Slater back. For those of you who don't know, like, you know, like the actress who plays Kara's foster mom played Supergirl back in the 1980s in the Supergirl movie. Not a good movie from what I've heard, but I mean, she's been around in the Superman mythos for a while. I mean, she had a role as Superman's mom in Smallville, so the fact that she's back here there's no shock to me. But it's funny because I'm looking at her and I'm just like, there's almost a bit of a resemblance between Helen Slater and Melissa Benoist. I mean, I think it's kind of funny, you know. I mean, obviously, it's not exactly unintentional, but you guys know what I mean. It was cool seeing her. I love Cat defending Supergirl in the beginning. Just, again, seeing more to the character that we haven't really seen yet before. We've seen this hardened boss who's been on Supergirl, like, criticizing her every chance she gets. And now she's like, well like, when that, like, girl Leslie, whatever her name is, Livewire, when she comes in, and she's, like, bashing Supergirl. She's like, what are you doing? It's negative publicity, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, obviously the way I'm saying it doesn't exactly make her sound more interesting, but the way she's carrying it, I really liked it. I think Cat Grant was a standout character to me in this episode. And the one thing I like about this episode is that the whole thing with them using all the villains or the aliens from Fort Roz, that you know that they're just using that setup to use like villain of the week all the time. And I like how in the beginning they kind of got an alien out of the way, so like there wasn't a whole alien based episode again. I mean, it's fine, I guess, but I don't really care for villain of the weeks. I mean, they've been so played out between Smallville and Arrow and Flash. It's just, I don't know, it's just not really interesting to me anymore. And I know you kind of have to do that when you're in a superhero show, but still, it's just one of those things that kind of bothers me. So I was happy to have the writers, you know, they got that character out of the way. That, and to me, just like this episode again just revolved around Cat Grant and Kara's relationship with Cat Grant and how that's been developing, and Kara's even now being able to open up more to Cat and told her, you know, like, hey, like my parents died. I mean, yeah, she's still lying because she has to, but she's opening up more and just again seeing a side of Cat that we haven't seen before. And to me, like, again, just that's what stood out to me in this episode. So yeah, but of course, like any form of media, like whether shows, movies, or whatever, it's not a perfect episode. So my big thing throughout the entire episode was that Livewire was used terribly. And the fact that in the first scene we see her in, they have to make an immediate Livewire reference. She gets her powers immediately in a not so subtle way. I mean, I liked how they said, okay, but other than like the cheesy, say like alive and on the wire, and just like, come on, like I don't remember the exact line, but it just sounded really cheesy to me. And then how she got her powers, I'm just like, come on. Like, at least, like, the Flash has the excuse of, like, oh, from the particle accelerator, or oh, from Earth 2. Like, at least they have that. It's like, oh, a lightning bolt came and, like, it shocked Kara and then gave her electrical powers. Like, come on. Like, make it at least somewhat more believable. And that for me, kind of, like, sealed the stamp on the fact, I mean, not, like, I don't know if this is intentional, but to me, the fact that they gave her those powers and she's that kind of metahuman kind of puts a stamp on the fact that, you know, this show is not related in any way whatsoever to all the CW superhero shows. Which is still disappointing to me, because there's a part of me that still wanted them to be all connected. But, you know, between them having to reference Superman all the time and all the different stuff, and then being on a different network, I understand why. So the fact that they're using a metahuman who wasn't created from the particle accelerator, I feel like that would kind of put the final step on, hey, like, this is a completely different universe. We aren't doing any crossovers with them, even though it is created by the same people. I think that kind of put the final stamp on it. But yeah, going back to my negatives. Yeah, just Livewire, just a really cheesy villain. I don't like how they used her. I think the actress, there's bits and pieces that I did like. Livewire, I mean, the look was cool. Like she looked fine, and like the way she used her powers was pretty cool. I mean, it's nothing that I wasn't expecting. But at the same time, like, I don't know, with this show, I want them to start making better villains that are a little more compelling. Like, I want to see more of Kara-Zor. I want to see more of her mom's sister. I want to see more of her. I mean, I understand we're only a few episodes in, but still, like, I want to see I want to see either no villain or a good villain. Like, I'm tired of this, like, in-between crap of, like, a villain of the week with just super dumb powers, or, you know, like last week with the Reactron, that was a terrible villain. I just hope the show doesn't, I don't know, just fall into the same category as Flash and Arrow. Well, actually, you know, Flash has a pretty good villains of the week, but Arrow, they have shitty villains of the week for the most part. So I don't want to get one to fall into that kind of category. But, I mean, just that aside, I thought it was a great episode. All the character moments between, you know, like, Kara and her mom, Kara and Alex and her mom. We see a little more backstory. We see Dean Cain again, who, if you guys didn't know, he played Superman back in the 90s in the Lois and Clark TV show. Again, just keeping everyone in the same universe, and like recycling all the Superman universe actors. And the fact that we find out that we work for the DEO, so that's me a new storyline coming up that I'm kind of interested in. Hopefully we see more of Dean Cain, because you can't go wrong with seeing another Superman on TV again. Yeah, overall I thought that it was a really good episode. Also, and then also like we hear like finally Wynn talk about his dad, and because, well, if you guys don't know, like, Wynn's dad is going to be Toyman, and we see him, so there's that. And then, of course, like, James, as always, I mean, he's fine. I mean, not much else other to say, because James was barely in the episode. But yeah, overall, just really, really solid episode. I love how they handled Cat Grant. Hopefully this is how they treat her moving forward, because this is the Cat Grant that I want to see. This is the Cat Grant that I'm enjoying watching. And yeah, and of course, Melissa Benoist. What more is there to say? She's amazing. So yeah, that's going to be it from you guys. If you guys like what you see here, go ahead and hit subscribe below. I review Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow Monday through Wednesday. I review comic book movies. Those are all up on my channel. I do trailer reviews. Those are also all up on my channel. And I'm probably reviewing Star Wars, and that comes out. So yeah, just want to check those out when you guys get the chance. That's going to be it from me, guys. So until next week, have a good one.